Welcome to The Explainer. So, today we're diving into this really fascinating modern Hindi folktale. It's all about three brothers, an inheritance that is just shockingly unfair, and what happens when the little guy decides to fight back, using the very rules that were designed to cheat him. And this is where it all begins, with our main character, Bhola, the youngest brother. These words right here, they show this incredible, almost naive trust in his family. He just assumes they're going to do the right thing by him. And, well, that trust is what sets him up for an absolutely massive betrayal. All right, so let's set the scene. We're in the state of Chandranagar. After their father dies, Bola and his two older brothers, Bhima and Lalan, get together to split up the family property. Now, Bola looks up to his brothers. He sees them as father figures, so he just completely steps back and trusts them to handle everything. Now look at this. This table tells you everything you need to know about the sheer, calculated cruelty of this deal. The older brothers, they take everything of value. The good fields, the parts of the tree that actually bear fruit, the rooms inside the house, all the usable cash. And what does Bola get? He gets the scraps, the literal, most useless parts of everything. The boundary strip between fields, the root of the tree, the roof of the house, and a few old coins. Just 4. That's it. This is the grand total of his monetary inheritance. 4 ancient coins that are completely out of circulation. They're worthless. It's not just a bad deal, it's a final little insult from his own brothers. And then the betrayal gets physical. His brothers actually stop him at the door. They say this to him, and then they throw Bola and his wife Padma right out of their family home. Think about that. They tell him, hey, you own the roof, so you can live up there if you want, but the house itself, forbidding. So as you can imagine, with no home and no money, their lives just spiraled downwards really, really fast. And it pushes Bola right to his breaking point. I mean, look how quickly their whole world just collapses. In just a few days, they go from being property owners to being homeless laborers. Bola tries to get something, anything, for those 4 old coins, but the village headman just tells him, sorry, these are useless. To his credit, the headman does feel bad for them and at least offers them some work. All that pressure has to go somewhere, right? And it explodes at home. His wife, Padma, who, remember, got thrown out right alongside him, just unleashes all her frustration. She blames him, his passivity, his blind trust. And you can just feel his spirit completely break. But right here, at their lowest point, when it feels like all hope is gone, the story takes a sharp turn. The whole dynamic shifts because the real hero of this story is about to step up. And this is that turning point right here on this slide. While Bola has basically given up and resigned himself to his destiny, Padma, well, she goes from despair to this incredible steely determination. She realizes that if her husband isn't going to act, she will. So that night, she just takes complete charge. She says this to a totally bewildered Bola, tells him to grab a shovel and follow her out into the dark. It's clear she has a plan and she is done waiting around. Okay, get ready because this is where everything flips. Padma is about to use the exact terms of that crooked deal to deliver a form of justice that is perfectly logical and absolutely devastating. Her plan is so simple, but it's genius. She's going to hit her brothers-in-law where it hurts the most, their 2 main sources of wealth, the fields and the mango tree. And she's going to do it using the so-called worthless junk they gave to Bola. First step, she takes Bola to that useless strip of land between the fields. And her logic is just flawless. She says, hey, if we own the boundary, then it's ours to do whatever we want with. And that includes tearing it down. The result is immediate and catastrophic. They smash the boundary to pieces. All the water that was irrigating the brothers' fields just drains away. The next morning, Bhima and Lalan wake up to find their profitable crops are completely withered and ruined. But oh, she is not done, not by a long shot. The next night, they go to the mango tree. And again, Padma lays out her razor-sharp logic. Their inheritance was the root of the tree, so if the root belongs to them, they have every right to cut it. And so, they take an axe and they chop the tree right at its root, and this massive tree, loaded with unripe mangoes that were just days away from being sold, comes crashing to the ground. Just like that, the brothers' last big source of income is gone.
You can just imagine the brothers hearing that tremendous crash. They race outside and find Bola and Padma axe in hand. They are beyond furious. They grab the couple, tie them up for the night, and decide that first thing in the morning, they're taking them to the king to be punished for what they've done.
And that's the cliffhanger. The brothers are marching off to the king, demanding justice. But here's the thing. Padma and Bola only destroyed what was technically theirs. They operated perfectly within the twisted rules their brothers created. It really makes you think, what's more important, the letter of the law or the spirit of justice? Who is the real villain here?